Hi everyone. We're going to do another reading today. This one was suggested by my cousins, Isabel and Autumn. So hi girls. They wanted something princess related. So they sent me some princess bedtime stories. So I'm going to read from Beauty and the Beast, Belle's Tea Party. Belle looked out the window. It had been raining for 6 straight days, and she felt cooped up. She hadn't taken a walk or visited the stables in nearly a week. Will the rain ever stop, she wondered. Chip, the little teacup, was wondering the same thing. He had already played all the games he could think of. Now he just wished he could go outside. Since he was so little, he didn't have a job like the other enchanted objects. But the rest of the enchanted objects had finished their work. The castle was spotless. Lumiere, the candelabrum, wandered into the dining room. He noticed how bored Chip and Belle looked, and he began to sing a song in French. Then Cogsworth, the clock, rounded up some napkins, spoons, and bowls, and led them in a dance. "That's it," he cried, as they whirled around the table. See Lumiere here. "Hooray!" Chip yelled when the song was over. "That was wonderful," Belle cried. "Will you do another?" Lumiere frowned. "Actually, we need to go check on the master," he said. Yes, Cogworth agreed. He might need something. He and Lumiere hopped off the table and went to the beast's study. Belle looked over at Teacup and smiled. "I'm not sure, Chip," she said. "I'll try to think of something." Just then, Chip's mother, Miss Potts, in the teapot, entered the room. She knew just what would cheer up Belle and Chip. "Let's have a tea party," she suggested. "Belle, why don't you change into your prettiest party dress? And Chip, I have a special job for you." The little teacup smiled excitingly, and Belle raced up the stairs to change. "We're going to have a tea party," Belle exclaimed when she reached her room. "Oh, that's lovely, dear," the wardrobe replied. "You'll need something bright and pretty to wear." She opened one door and looked inside. Belle reached for a navy dress. "No, no, no," the wardrobe cried. "That's too dark for a tea party." The wardrobe rummaged around a little more and found a yellow hat. You simply must wear this," she cried. "It's beautiful," Belle cried. Then she noticed that the wardrobe was holding a yellow and gold dress and matching gloves. "Oh, you've outdone yourself," she said. The wardrobe smiled proudly. After Belle changed, she looked in the mirror and twirled around. It's so fun to dress up. "You'll be the belle of the ball, tea party," the wardrobe said with a giggle. Meanwhile, Lumiere and Cogsworth returned to the dining room. The beast had been taking a nap, so they hadn't needed to do anything for him. Once the clock and candelabrum heard about the tea party, they started getting the dinner room ready. They put a vase filled with blue flowers on the table. Then the spoons, dishes, and napkins jumped into place. Now all they needed was the food. Before long, Miss Potts and Chip brought in some tiny sandwiches and pastries with frosting. Oh, these look good. "Ooh la la," Lumiere cried. "This will be a wonderful tea party. I think we are almost ready." "Ahem," Cogsworth said. "Chip, will you please place this card on the head of the table?" He gave Chip a card with Belle's name on it. That way she knew where to sit. Chip put the card in place. Miss Potts smiled at her son. "Now you take your place too," she said. The little teacup hopped onto the saucer excitingly. It was the first tea party, and he couldn't wait for it to begin. "Everything is so beautiful," Belle exclaimed as she walked into the dining room. "But wait," said Miss Potts. we can't forget the most important part of the tea party, the tea. Mrs. Potts tipped herself over and poured some tea into Chip. Then Belle picked up Chip and took a sip. The little teacup beamed. At last he had an important job. This is a lovely tea party, Belle said. I'm so glad to have good friends like you. Me too, said Chip. Everyone smiled. Maybe rainy days weren't so bad after all. And here you can see them happily having their tea party. So I'm sure a lot of you are feeling cooped up right now, not able to do the things you usually want to do. Maybe can't hang out with all your friends right now. But there's still a lot of stuff out there, especially if you use your imagination. This is what I did yesterday. I painted our good friend who was hosting the tea party. So maybe you can find something to paint. I just found an old big jar that we used to use and painted it right on there. Well, I hope you're all doing well. I miss you. And I hope when you get bored, you're finding something to do, be creative. Feel free to share that with the rest of us when you find something fun. All right. Love you all.